This is Kelso Sturgeon. Thank you very much for visiting me at another day at my College of Advanced Sports Handicapping. This report is for Saturday, November the 12th. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to review the big game plays today and give you some reasons behind why I have picked this time to go for all the money. I'm also going to analyze for you the Oregon-Stanford game and give you the winner, just as I did with the LSU-Alabama game last week. And last but not least, there are some giant money moves in college football this week, and I'm going to share those with you too. But first, let's talk about the big game weekend. As most of you know, I'm 24-6 with my last 30 college and NFL football selections. 7-1 with my last 8 big game plays. That's games rated from, I'm 2-1 in 50-unit games, 2-0 in 100-unit games, 2-0 in 75-unit games. The big games have just been coming home, one right after the other, and I want to address today's selections. First of all, this 200-unit college blowout play that I'm releasing today came from nowhere. I had no intention of releasing a game at this level on this particular weekend, but as I handicapped the card, I said, wait a minute, this game absolutely grades out as a 200-unit winner. And it's just similar to the Washington over Colorado game a couple of weeks ago. You know, I never intended to release that game as a 200-unit play, but it just came from nowhere. When you get into the analysis of these games, there's sometimes some big surprises, and in that one there certainly was. And Washington crushed Colorado 52-24 in that game. I look for today's game to win just as easily, and as I said, it came from nowhere. Today's game, just as Washington did, has a 95% chance to win straight up, a 90% chance to cover the number. You do not want to miss this game. Now, also today, going for my 100-unit college upset game of the year. Once again, this one came from nowhere. When you see betting lines that are really have all the appearances of being really off, you know, you have to step in. I did this about a month ago with the San Diego State at the Air Force game. I never intended to release this game at 100 units, but as I analyzed the game, now Air Force was a 7-point favorite. I said to myself, why? And I got into it and started digging around, and here we have Air Force, a 7-point favorite, in a game that San Diego State graded out with a 95% chance to win straight up and a 90% chance to cover the number. Well, I had to jump in. I couldn't stay, back up from this kind of a game. It was there, and I've always said you take the money where you find it. So that was an unexpected play too. By the way, San Diego State won 41-27 as a 7-point underdog. I found a similar game today. The wrong side is favored. I don't know why. I try to figure it out, but you know, to me, it's just another blessing. We're getting a winner plus points, and there's no stronger way to go than that. So today, my 200-unit college blowout, my 100-unit college upset game of the year, and also another 75-unit winner with my syndicate club. Now, you can get all of these games on this website right now, or toll free at 1-800-755-2255. And I accept all major credit cards, and as always, the price is right. Once again, win the 200-unit play and the 100-unit play, the 75-unit play. Get them all on this website or toll free at 1-800-755-2255. The price is right. Now let's get into some. There's been some tremendous money moves this week, and I just want to review them for you. You know, we have Tulsa really got some action in its game against Marshall. Was 17.5, and in one shot moved out to 19.5 2 days ago. Big move. You know, we also had modest moves on Baylor, over Kansas, and Texas A&M over Kansas State. But now here's where we get into the big stuff. Air Force opened as an 11.5-point favorite over Wyoming. Slowly edged its way out to 13, and then to 14, and then to 16.5. A tremendous line move, Air Force over Wyoming. I don't know what it all means. You know the money is showed for the Falcons here. Do what you need to do. And then we have Nevada, another giant move over Hawaii. Nevada opened at a minus 12.5 in this game. They're now minus 16. A giant move. So you've got really big money moves today on Tulsa, Nevada, and Air Force. Once again, I have no opinions there myself. You do what you want, but you know that the money is down on those games. Now, just a quick rundown. You know, there's a lot of speculation over who's the best college football team in the country, etc. I want to run down my top 10 for you. LSU's in the number 1 spot, Alabama number 2, Oregon number 3, Stanford number 4, Oklahoma State number 5, Wisconsin number 6, Boise State number 7, Oklahoma number 8, Arkansas 9, and Clemson 10. Now let's get to today's big game. Oregon at Stanford. Stanford is a 3.5-point favorite in this game. There's a lot of things to consider, but I love one side, and we'll get to that in just a minute. You know, Oregon has lost one game. They lost the opening game of the season, 40-24 to LSU. Maybe, and they were the favorite in that game, by the way. Maybe at that time, few people realized just how good LSU was. By the way, I did release LSU over Oregon on that particular day. Now, since then, the Ducks have run off 7 straight wins and have won every single one of those games in blowout fashion. Now let's get to Stanford. Stanford 9-0. The Cardinals 17-0 in games dating back to last season, and this I think is a remarkable figure. Do you realize that in the last 2 seasons, Stanford is 21-1? The only game they lost was one last year, you guessed it, to Oregon. Oregon won that game 52-31 at home. Now the scene shifts to Stanford. Now, breaking down this game, you know, I'm a big believer in you have to have skill players to win big games. Well, Oregon has skill players that are outstanding. They're the leading rusher in the country, and Michael James, averaging 151 yards a game. They've got a standout quarterback in Darren Thomas, ranked 13th in passing efficiency, and they've surrounded these people with a host of top-flight players, prime-time players. So Oregon has everything it takes to win the ball game. Now we get to Stanford. It's no secret that Andrew Luck is the best quarterback in college football, and he proves it week after week after week, and Stanford just keeps winning with him. He is rated number 5 in efficiency rating, but I think the most interesting thing about him, he's thrown 26 touchdown passes against 5 interceptions. So when you break down the analysis of this, and by the way, these teams are both great in the red zone too, the red zone offense. So when you break this game down, it comes up exactly like the LSU-Alabama game, where Alabama was a 5-point favorite, 4.5 in some places last week. I have always said, and is without exception, in big games, if the teams grade out even, you have no choice but to take the underdog plus the points, and that's what I'm suggesting that you do today. To take Oregon plus the 3.5 over Stanford. I'm also going to take a money line bet on Oregon. I think Oregon wins the game straight up on the strength of one thing: its speed and its quickness. It's much faster than Stanford, and that's a big edge as far as I'm concerned. So today, my suggestion, you're on your own, my suggestion is to take Oregon plus the 3.5 over Stanford. Now let's just run down the weekend again. Today, a 200-unit college blowout game, a 100-unit college upset game of the year, a 75-unit syndicate play. Tomorrow, my 100-unit NFC game of the year, but we'll cover that on Sunday's NFL report. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. Let's all get lucky today and make some money.